A strange history in the psychology of moral development. We began with the Freudian emphasis on children's experiences with their parents very early in life as being very formative in their conscience development. And then we moved into a phase where, and perhaps it could be phrased as a liberal phase, because the notion of authority in morality was challenged, and the cognitive developmental perspective seemed to argue that peers, people who were relatively equal in terms of developmental level, were the ones that would best stimulate development. And so there was a period of time where parents were not seen as important for moral growth by dominant models. And when I became a parent, this bothered me, because perhaps more than anything else about my children's development, I wanted them to mature, to be morally sophisticated, caring, loving, fair people. And I had an investment in that, and I was working to that end. And their friends were not particularly invested in that issue. And so I began to explore the role that parents play. And I think we've been able to discover some important things that parents can do to promote their children's development. And some of these things include a willingness to listen to children and to value what they say and to support them in their decision making, rather than trying to feed them the right answers to life's problems. And it's a process that, we know as Socratic questioning, where you draw the right answer out of the child by asking good questions. And the answer to the problem comes from the child. They came up with it, and you've simply led them to the trough, in some sense, to drink. But it would never work if you shoved their face in it. So that requires parents to be smart, to think about what their child is saying and to ask good questions about the issues they're dealing with, and to be supportive as they go along. Peers play a different role because they're not authority figures. And so they have the liberty to more directly challenge each other and to tell them that what they've said is stupid. Okay? When a parent says, "You've said something stupid," okay, it shuts down the conversation. But when an equal, a peer, does that, in the context of a discussion about some issue, it's a sign that they're engaged, that they care. So very similar things have different meanings in different contexts. An authority context with a parent or a teacher carries different meanings than a peer context. A single parent has a particularly unique role to play because there's no other parent to play off on. And so there's no second line of defense in dealing with issues. And typically single parent families are more egalitarian in the way they function. And there are a lot more stressors on single parent families. So negotiating some of these moral issues within the family become more difficult. And so it's more important for the single parent to be conscious of what she or he is trying to do to negotiate these issues with children. But the same fundamental principles remain, that if you are overly authoritarian with your child on moral issues, you'll push them away. And there are some aspects of moral wisdom that you can pass on, but these are things that a child has to receive and can't be pushed on them.